Hello, you're joining me from my increasingly more pleasant home in Wakayama Prefecture. Been working on the place for just over 6 weeks now, and things are looking pretty solid. I have managed to clean the place from top to bottom. I have managed to remove a ton of junk. It's livable now, and as of yesterday, I have paid all of my utility bills up to date. So I've had my first electricity bill, I've had my water bill, and I have had my council tax paid up for a year. And I just thought it would be a good time to work out if the costs make sense for other people, just share my experience of where I'm at, and just generally consider if it is a good deal to come and get an Akiya in Japan. So, obviously, there's a lot of stories on YouTube about people buying Akiyas for dirt cheap and, basically getting a free home. And that's not true. It's just not a thing that people get is a free home, really, because there's no such thing as a free lunch. I think everybody in their right mind knows this, but it's just the reality versus the sort of the fantasy and the dream. This is still a fantasy and a dream for me, trust me. It's great. It's absolutely amazing that I've got this place for the price that I did. It's required a lot of research and work to get here, and it's going to take some clever thinking to make the best use of the place as things go forward. But the cost wise, I think it's absolutely a sensible decision for me financially at this point in my life. So I'm into my 30s now and I don't have a family or kids yet. Not entirely sure that I want that yet, but we'll see depending on who comes across my path in the near future if they want me either. But in terms of the lifestyle that I want to live right now, and having a house paid for outright that's in my possession with land, with things to do with it, and the lifestyle opportunity that it offers me, it's fantastic. It's a really nice area, the neighbours are lovely, the nature is beautiful, and I have good access to Osaka City as well as Wakayama City, and I can get over to Nara Prefecture from here too. So I have a lot of outdoor hiking options. I can go to the city to do more partying if I ever feel like that, which I rarely do these days, but I can go be a bit more sociable. Um, Things are nice here. They just are nice. Things are pleasant. Japan's safe. It's a fun place to be. And most of my income streams are remote currently, and that makes things quite easy for me here. I cannot work here currently, which is one of the challenges that I have. Although I've done work for a Japanese company in the past, I do not have a visa to work while I'm here. So actual remuneration and active work while I'm here at the minute is something that I am working on. So I will be here 3 months at a time and leaving for roughly 3 months at a time because I'm allowed to be here 6 months of the year on a tourist visa. I'm exploring some options for longer term goals here for work, but in terms of hemorrhaging costs, the price of being here is not expensive at all. The comparison to the UK is it's so low right now that I could spend time just spending savings for a considerable amount of time, and I don't have a ton of money. I might be slightly more fortunate than most in the UK at the minute, but I'm not a rich man by any means. And it's been some very careful and considered decision making that's got me to this position in life, really, I think, given the circumstances. So I consider myself fortunate and lucky, but it isn't a ton of money to get this kind of stuff sorted out. And if you are willing to be flexible or you already have options in Japan, it is quite a good move, I think, especially just having ownership of land is such a cool thing. And I think just having an ownership of a house and having that sense of ownership is really good sometimes. I think I have already put value on this house as well, which isn't always the case because I think Aki is usually a depreciating asset. Houses in Japan generally are, but the garden I've cleared up at the back I can turn into a parking area, which would immediately add on to the value of the house. All the junk has been removed, which was a major obstacle, and it's been a lot of work to get all that out. But now that's been done, and it hasn't cost me a ton of money to get all that removed. I'd say the removal costs have cost me close up to £1,000 all in, so maybe what $1,200 ish, which isn't a ton. I mean, I've got some minor repair work to do. I've got a whole kitchen now to refurb. I do have to pay for a new heating system for the boiler at some point, so to get hot water in the house. But now we're into spring and I can just about manage with intermittent water at the minute. Well, hot water, I mean, I have running water all the time. But it's just minor inconveniences on a house that all in has cost me what, 21,000 to maybe $22,000 all in now. And yeah, there's upkeep and maintenance like any property in the world. I mean, home ownership is an expensive thing to do, but I don't want people to think that it somehow just solves all your financial problems by buying a house in Japan. And obviously, integrating here is a challenge too. My Japanese is not great yet. My understanding is okay. I can converse with my neighbours. I'm just about getting by. I'm in the neighbourhood community watch group, basically, the Jichikai, which comes with certain responsibilities like sorting out things to do with the bins, local cleaning and stuff. Like I've just been doing gardening, and I have like a little stream down by the side of my house. When I say little stream, it's actually quite a big waterway that I've been cleaning out the last couple of days. Absolutely gutted that out. It was like a forest and a swamp, and been sorting that out. But that's fine. And yeah, just navigating, sort of generally trying to be a good neighbour, and obviously being the odd one out here in rural Japan. I'm the only foreigner in the immediate community, and people are sometimes still very surprised I'm not just here visiting a friend, and I do actually own a place here. But everyone's been pretty friendly and welcoming, and especially helpful with the bin collections. Now, things to do with the bins and the recycling here are quite a challenge, actually. Sorting out some of the garbage and the recycling is quite complicated. I've been fortunate enough to have a neighbour that's helped me out a lot with it, but the rural bin collections are quite complex, and I've had a lot of stuff to remove as well. So it's been an interesting one to navigate, but it's been doable. But it's been a bit of a shock to the system, being from the UK, where you kind of just chuck stuff in one of 3 bins and steady away, or you can go to a local junkyard and just throw stuff away for free. But yeah, it costs stuff to recycle stuff here at Recycle Centre and dispose of stuff too, and it's just things worth considering if you're buying a house full of stuff like I did as well. Didn't put me off. I knew this was going to happen, but it's just going through the reality of it as well. It's a bit of an effort sometimes, and I still have a ton of furniture in here too that I have to sort out as well. But things again. So I think it really depends on your personal circumstances if it is worth getting a place here. I think for me, the numbers made a ton of sense just because of how much money I was spending on rent and bills in the UK, and the salaries are not getting they're not getting any better in the UK. They're not very good here currently either, and it's one of the complaints that people have is that the economy is stagnating and that the cost of living is going up. But I mean, I just had my electricity bill through, and it cost me £36 for the month, and I've been absolutely hammering the electricity to keep the heaters on, to dry the house out, to just test everything and leave things on and just see what works and what doesn't. And I have been using more electricity than I think I would normally, and that is blown my mind slightly because my bills were costing me at least triple that from what I can recall the last bill I paid in the UK. And my annual council tax is costing me £200 because it's measured between the value or the last valuation of the property and the land. So I think if I was going to get my house revalued, it might go up slightly. But the previous, when it was registered, it's daft. That was how much it would cost me almost a month for my council tax in the UK, and I own this place now. So like I say, I could just sit here and do very little and have a holiday for however long I want now, and that's it. And this is an option to me now. I've got free accommodation, I've got a roof over my head, and I'm 22 grand down, and that makes, I mean, it's invested into the property. It's just it all makes sense to me, even if there is issues to do with things like I mean, property maintenance is property maintenance. You're gonna have to do it if you own a property anywhere. And I couldn't get a mortgage in the UK anymore. I got offered mortgages in principle, and that privilege was revoked over time by my bank, even though I've never really been in the red. It's just more from the fact that I didn't borrow money more, so my credit score, I think, wasn't quite up to snuff. So even though it was decent, and I never had any problems, I think it used to be perfect actually. But the last time I assessed, I couldn't get a mortgage offer, and it's just laughable when you reach your 30s and you've been working for a long time, and you just don't have things like the option to buy a house in the UK anymore. So I think just as a psychological milestone, I would say. This has been a big deal for me. I mean, I've helped refurbish houses in the past with people. I've done refurbs for other people's properties on my own, and I've really enjoyed that process. And I intend to keep doing that here. Really, if I'm honest, I think I'll likely get more properties and intend to work on more projects here as they arise. But it's just not something I can do actively in the UK anymore without really being concerned about the finances. And I would invite other people to consider that, but obviously understanding that you've got to abide by local rules. There's a lot of legislation, there's a lot of things to consider, and a lot of, Japan-centric and unique pitfalls here that you don't get in the UK. I mean, like the construction of the buildings and stuff and the materials and the things like earthquake resistance and termite damage and things like that. It's not, it's not a thing that I would experience in the UK, but when you put your head around it, it's, everywhere has its challenges. And if you're into property and you like those things, I don't see why you wouldn't want to give it a go if you've got time and flexibility. Now, I'd be happy to discuss with people personally what the process has been like buying stuff specifically in Wakayama Prefecture and here. And I do have contacts in Wakayama too, that I'm going to continue to just converse with and be involved with in the future, see if things pop up for personal projects. It's obviously not business or work until I can get that visa sorted out, but it's just out of curiosity really for the time being, and I really am quite passionate about doing this stuff, and it's great fun. But yeah, I mean, fingers crossed, something maybe slightly more significant comes on that front work-wise, but I'm kind of okay for now. I mean, I'm happy to be in other countries, and I'm fortunate enough to be a dual citizen as well with Poland as well, so that's another option for me anyway. But I appreciate everyone's got their own circumstances and everyone's got their own thing to do, but if any of my experiences are relevant or resonate with you, please by all means reach out. Happy to have a chat, happy to just converse about what to do with property in Japan. And I really think it's been a good deal and a good move for me so far. I can't say there's been any major detractors at all yet, and I kind of thought there would be at least one that something would pop up, but I don't regret my decision at all. I mean, like I say, obvious challenges with stuff going on, but it's my challenges and my choices, and it's stuff to go on, like anybody's, and it's something I'm happy to go through at the minute and hopefully experience more of. So thanks for watching the video. Just sort of wanted to let my thoughts out really. I don't know why it feels like such a milestone paying an electricity bill, but I'm just glad it works as well, because it means that now that I don't have to worry about if that is going to be an outstanding bill that I don't know how to pay because of bureaucratic reasons or whatever, and that's quite a load off my mind actually, because now everything lines up. Council tax is paid, electricity gets paid, and water bills are quarterly really, and they just need to be paid over a counter in a 7-Eleven or a Lawson's, and I can do that. When I'm about, and I will be. So no worries. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, ask me any questions you fancy, and yeah, I fully endorse looking at properties in Japan and be happy to help if you want me to help out. So thanks for watching. Thank you.